Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good day, good night to you, wherever you may be watching me from today. I am super, 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 super excited to be on here this evening. It's evening my time, whatever the time it is for you, it is the time I am on you. So I am excited this evening to talk about another exciting or insightful topic, and I know not a lot of us like to have this wake up call, but is we're gonna get as raw as we can tonight. So I am hoping and keeping my fingers crossed that tonight's conversation on tonight's topic give you insight to help you not just move your life in the right direction, but move you from point A to point B as I share some useful information that I think you can take actionable steps from to immediately start taking action. All right. So tonight it's all about action taking, right from this conversation to tomorrow morning. If you're already in the day, if you're in Australia, I know it's already morning to you. GMT is already, at dawn. And for some other parts of the world, it's different time zone, it's late evening and stuff. So I am super excited to be on here today to chat about another insightful topic. Your comfort zone is your hindrance to success. I know not a lot of us, we enjoy the warmth of our beds, our feet. We enjoy we're working and things are moving strong. We don't want to be pushed against the wall. We don't want to be squeezed. We just want to be us. And if we're lemons or oranges or stuff, if we're grapes, we just want to be grape, you know and we don't want to be squeezed. But we forget to know that when you squeeze the grape, the process of making a wine, which is more expensive than a grape, you need to squeeze the grape. The process of making lemonade, which may be a glass of lemonade, is more expensive than the regular lemon that you may pull off the shelf in the supermarket. That process of making that lemonade, you have to squeeze it. All right. So tonight I want to talk about how your comfort zone is hindering your success. So please grab a note, please grab your headphones, please grab a pen or a notepad, whether it's digital or physical. Please grab something and jot down some insight tonight, because I am hoping to share some insight that you can use immediately to start taking action. Okay. We all want to be successful. We all have a definition of success and what it means to us. For some of us, it's the money in your bank account. For some of us, it's the impact you want to, have on the world that can have a ripple effect. For some of us, it's being in good health. For some of us, is leaving wealth for our children. For some of us, is giving our own family, our own immediate family, the life we did not have as kids. For some of us, it's different things. For some of us is going to college. For some of us, is getting a new job. For some of us, is getting a promotion. But what is your comfort zone, and how is it hindering your success? All right. So tonight conversation, I'm gonna start with um, us. If you know you want to hear the truth about what's going on, right? And it's a hard truth about, we say, create routines and stuff and habits and stuff, but sometimes these routines can hinder us. Sometimes these habits can hinder our successes, but because, well, this is just me, this is how I am, this is how we do things in our family, this is how it's done in my country, or this is how it's done in my tribe or in our culture, is getting in the way of our success. We're just dreaming about where we want to be in life versus us taking those steps that may seem uncomfortable or we're not used to, that may seem unfamiliar to achieving that success. We just stay at the back end. Okay. So that's what I want to talk about this evening. Our comfort zones are very attractive because that's where we feel safe. You know, um, we can be ourselves in our comfort zone. We don't have to stretch ourselves long enough. We don't have to, spread ourselves thin, or we don't have to sweat too much. We feel very safe. It's our safe space. It's our you know our opportunity, or it's what we're used to. Well, no, I don't do that. No, that's too hard. No, no, I'm not able to do this. That's our comfort zone. It feels like it's our safety. It feels like, oh, I got my walls up. I'm safe here. No, it's great. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. It's okay to be comfortable in a space, but you don't want to get too comfortable. If you want to be successful, I think I'm borrowing this quote if it's an original quote. If you want to be successful, you need to get comfortable with getting uncomfortable, because a lot of times I read a quote today that says 80% of your problems can be fixed with discipline or by discipline. If you don't discipline yourself to eat right or exercise, you're not going to achieve your fitness goals. I don't care how long you sit on your couch like a potato, like a sweet potato or an Irish potato. I don't care how comfortable you sit in your couch and watch all these sweet videos and stuff. You're not gonna get anywhere close to that goal you're setting up for yourself in terms of fitness. If you do not discipline yourself to eat right, if you're not disciplining yourself to exercise and building your body and stuff, you're not gonna do anything with that. Okay. And also, you say, well, I don't want to do this too much. I feel safe here. I'm just okay. I'm just no. By staying, it's okay to get comfort. It's okay to get rest. It's okay to and tonight I'll talk about something that came up in my mind, where sometimes you're on a journey, and then we say, a lot of time people would say it's okay to rest but don't quit, because winners don't quit and quitters don't win. I have another video where I talk about quitters are winners and winners are quitters, because you need to quit some things to get to where you want to get to. Okay. So you can check out some of the videos on YouTube and you'll find it there. um the channel is Temi Ahamba TV, and you'll see it right there. Okay. So the thing is, sometimes we're on a path. Okay. We're going, we're working, we're making things happen, we're out there, we're making things happen, and then boop, life happens. Whilst we're making things happen, then life happens to us. And then you're like, what, I won't quit, I'll just take a rest, I'll take a break. And before you know, how long do you want to take the rest? And I mean, as I'm saying this, I'm also speaking to myself, okay? Because we all find ourselves in that sometimes, and that's a personal experience as well. How long do you want to take this rest? What do you need to get back in motion? What kind of motivation do you need to kickstart things and continue from where you left off? Sometimes we take a rest and then we get too comfortable with the rest. And guess what? We just there. We get cozy. We get on our blankets, our gloves, and our socks, and our fall clothes or jacket, and we just get cozy. We don't want to get out of bed. We don't want to get out of that place that we said, oh, let me just take a rest. Let me just take a break. Okay. Then before you know, a day is gone, days are gone, weeks are gone, months are gone, years are gone, possibly. And then ages passed and you not doing nothing. And as much as you're taking the rest, now you got too comfortable taking the rest and you can't seem to find yourself back in motion again. All right. So staying there can lead to stagnation. I'm not saying it's not a natural thing. Maybe you're on a journey and then your health got in the way, or you lost your job and that got in the way, or bankruptcy set in and came in the picture, and then romantic relationships failed and your marriage is broken and your kids are struggling, and a lot of things just come in between that, and you're like, whew, I don't think I can do this, or I'm not a quitter, I can go, excuse me, I'm not a quitter, I can make it, I can do this, I can do this, and then you realize you're like, whew, 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 let me take a break. And then sometimes in your moment of rest, say for instance you're in a competition, you're running, right? You're in a marathon and you're running and you stop to rest. You get someone to give you water, you get someone to give you a towel. But with those perks along the way, you're not gonna get to your destination if you keep drinking water and having snacks and just enjoying all the perks along the way. Don't get me wrong, okay? It's okay to have your support system reach out to you and help you, but you don't want to get too comfortable. You want to have someone on your team that's gonna kick your butt and say, you know what, enough of this. You done 5 minutes, you're gonna go. You done a day, you done 2 days, you done a couple of weeks. Boom, let's get back in motion. You've done a few weeks, you've done a few, months. Let's get back in motion. You want someone to push you because your comfort zone can be your hindrance to success. All right. So sometimes you may experience stagnation in your place of comfort. How many times have you paused a project and that project is still paused? In fact, it stopped because the pause has long overdue because you got comfortable. And then sometimes you get comfortable and stuff still coming away. And then like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna pivot. How many times have you pivoted? Ask yourself, what are some of those projects that's hanging on the wall? I got a couple of books that's hanging on my digital shelf simply because I had an issue with Amazon and they took down some of my stuff and then they blocked stuff here and there. And now I kind of lost momentum to finish the other projects because I'm like, I just kind of lose momentum. Okay. And, writing has to come by some inspiration, but that finished product has to come through discipline. Okay. And if you're not disciplined enough, you're not going to get it out of there. And sometimes we don't discipline ourselves enough because we're comfortable. We're comfortable working on other pet projects and other things, and then we take our focus from the main goal to say, and then we forget to know that, well, there's something happening over here. What's up with that? All right. So sometimes you will experience stagnation, or almost always, if you get too comfortable in a particular space, you're going to move from comfort to stagnation real quick. Success requires that you learn new skills, you take new risks, you be brave enough, you step over your fears, you overcome. It has to be an internal something that will help you overcome your fears. I don't care how many people you have around you to motivate you. You need some form of internal push to get you out of your comfort zone. You need to push past your fears. Nobody can push past your fears for you. I don't care how many motivation they water down your throat, your heart, your ears. I don't care. All right? It has to come from inside. You need to be able to engage or exercise with activities that usually will get you out of your comfort zone. Well, you're not a good speaker or you don't do good with social stuff, pick one person when you go to an event. One. You don't need two people. Just pick one person that you're comfortable talking to and connect with them. Talk to them. Build a relationship with them. Develop your confidence from there. You don't have to be an extrovert and be all over in the room or talk to 5, 10, 15, 20 people in the room on this particular day. No, just pick one person and you're good. All right. So then you know that, okay, I have a lot to share, but here am I. I don't do so well speaking in front of people, or I don't do too well speaking in front of the camera. Well, if you're not comfortable speaking on camera, then do an audio. Try. Someone say, I've heard people say, I don't like how I sound. Well, we listen to you. It's not about how you sound, it's about what you're speaking. Okay, so you need to get comfortable with how you sound so you can be able to pass your message to the world because it's about what you have inside to give to the world. It's not about how you sound. All right. Another thing I want you to notice is that growth happens when we challenge ourselves. It's okay for others to challenge you. And sometimes, depending on how other people challenges us, it could go one of two ways. We could shut down or we could soar. But when you challenge yourself, there's only one thing that can happen. You go up because it's you against you. You're going straight up. You're coming out of that fear. Even if you don't hit the goal, you're making a conscious effort to get closer to the goal. That's the thing. So don't wait for people to challenge you always. It has to be something eternal that wants to get you out of your comfort zone. It's you who know the level of comfort you need to keep sleeping through the day. I was talking to a friend and we're like, when I don't do naps, I sleep. Cause some people find it very easy to sleep during the afternoon. Like they could nap for 30 minutes or 20 minutes here and there and an hour here and there because they're going somewhere, they just do an hour. When I lay my head to rest, boy, I lay my head to rest, baby. Because I'm enjoying that. And I'm gonna get a few hours in before I wake up. So I don't do naps naturally. Okay? And then sometimes if you don't, even if you set a goal for yourself, if you get comfortable with where you are, you're going to put that off. It's like you set your alarm because you have an interview on the next day, and you set your alarm for 5 o'clock in the morning. But guess what? It's snowing outside or it's raining heavily. You know that kind of therapeutic rain that all you want is a warm bed and a couple of blankets over you with socks on your feet and maybe a glove on your hand or a jacket whilst under that blanket because it's super cold. Then your alarm rings. And sometimes people make a mistake and use your favorite song for their alarm. It's just like lullaby. You keep turning it off. You keep snoozing and snoozing and snoozing and snoozing. Before you know it, you skip past the time you're supposed to wake up, and sometimes you're already almost into the time you set for what you're supposed to do. That's what happens. When you get so comfortable, if you don't take the action yourself, you will just be pushing it. Well, is this go? Oh, I'm supposed to finish this in 3 days. Well, I can take 5 days. Oh, let's push the deadline a little bit. Oh yeah, let's push the deadline a little bit. Like, and you keep going, and before you know it, sometimes you end up not doing that particular thing you set yourself to do. The thing about challenging ourselves is it helps us to build our resilience. If you wake up 5 o'clock in the morning for 7 days straight, you're building yourself to take on another 7 days. And when you take on that 7 days, you're building yourself to take on another 7 days. You're building yourself to take on another 7 days. And I'll give you a personal example, right? Or a personal experience. When I wanted to be intentional about exercising, I tried the gym, y'all. It didn't work. I remember posting my gym picture. It didn't work. Cause I'm like, okay, now you need to get in a car, you need to go to the gym, and you need to no. Guess what? I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do this before I take a shower, or once I wake up in the morning, I want to take a shower, or maybe before I go to bed, I want to take a shower. I'm gonna do that. I just have fun with it, and sometimes I don't have to go the whole full route. I set many goals. I want to see this change. I want to see that change. I want to see XYZ change. And I want to do a few blah blah blah. I want to get this, that to contribute to this overall success. And when I did that, I started in July. I've not been faithful all the way to do every single day, but on days where I cannot, even if I'm brushing my mouth, I'm doing something. Okay? Even if I don't get to do all the reps I want to do or all the different things I want to do before I go take a shower, I want to be able to jog a little bit or do a little bit of squat before I get into the shower or when I'm brushing my mouth. I just want to have fun with it. Okay. And so sometimes when you're pushing yourself, You want to do it little by little, gently, gently, but have one goal in mind. I'm working towards this. And if you're working toward a certain body, or you're working to fix something, or maybe you have an extra flesh on the side you want to fix. Maybe your tummy is big, or maybe your something's going on somewhere that you need to work on. You want to tell yourself, okay, what do I need to do to get this? Okay, maybe you need to buy XYZ. Maybe you need to start eating this, this, and this. Maybe you need to do XYZ. You want to do a combination of stuff to be able to get you towards that goal. Okay. Now let's look at it. So if you stay in your comfort zone, you're going to get stagnant. Versus if you push yourself little by little, even if you don't get to the goal, you will grow through the process of getting to the goal. All right. Your comfort zone can also make you or prevent you from seizing opportunities that could lead to new skills, new experiences, new connections, and stuff. I've seen in a couple of social media groups where someone, I think it was a meme or something, someone posted that said, your soulmate is not going to find you on your couch, so go out. So, say for instance, I think I came across this story where someone said, or this post where someone said, on days where they have a date, that's when they feel sleepy, or that's when they just want their bed just looks so juicy and they just want to jump in there. But maybe you told yourself, okay, I want to start dating around this time, or I've healed this much. I want to start doing XYZ, or I want to start this project. And then sometimes you just look at your bed like, oh, this bed looks so juicy. I need to lie my head down and sleep, and stuff like that, right? And most of the time, if you say, and the thing is, if you don't go out, or if you set yourself to go out to go meet people or go for a meeting or something, you don't know who else you're going to meet at that meeting. You don't know who else you're going to meet somewhere. You don't know who you're going to bump into, who you're going to talk to. Life is just so mysterious. Sometimes we set out to do one thing, a couple of blessings comes dropping our way like gems, right? So if you don't go out, you may not meet Mr. Right tonight when you go out, but you may get to meet other people who could lead you to your Mr. Right or Madam Right. Okay. So the thing about being in your comfort zone, I know your couch look beautiful and sweet and cozy, but you're gonna miss opportunities of meeting new people, of having new experiences, of learning something new. All right. You're going to miss out on opportunities that you're probably dreaming about simply because you got too comfortable in a space and you just didn't want to go nowhere. All right. So, stepping stones towards success, but it can be a little bit intimidating going into unfamiliar territories. I know it can be frightening. I know sometimes you don't even have the right words to say. Okay. But just giving yourself, look at it as an opportunity. Don't even look at it as pushing yourself. Look at it as an opportunity you're giving yourself to experience something new. You want to step out of your house. Some people don't, they want to do something, or they want to have new connections or business and stuff. But well, if you can come to me, great, but I don't want to go out. I don't want to make the effort. I don't want to do nothing. And as I said earlier, we all have our own definition of success. Okay. So sometimes you're like, I don't have time to learn XYZ or new courses and stuff. As a CEO, I don't do too much of personal development stuff because I want to do online classes. I don't get time and blah, blah, blah. No, you don't know who all's going to be on there. Get there. You don't know, you have a potential business partner somewhere. And that process of learning or preservation or growth or whatever it is, it's going to get you ready for the phase that you're supposed to enter to unlock certain doors. And if you do not give yourself the opportunity to take that leap of faith, guess what? You miss out on the opportunities that are supposed to unlock for you. All right. So if you stay in your comfort zone, you will miss out on breakthroughs, you'll miss out on networking and career advancement, personal development, as I'm saying. Okay. Within your comfort zone is just your limited perspective. Your comfort zone, it could be anything and everything that doesn't motivate you to step into an unknown space. All right. And if you don't meet, say for instance, you're a talker and not so much of a listener. If you step into a new territory that you don't know much about, you give yourself the opportunity to listen and learn. With listening, active listening, come learning. With listening comes learning. With active listening comes learning. If you step into a new territory, if you step into an unknown environment, you give yourself the opportunity to not be in charge, but to be someone who someone else is in charge of. And that gives you a unique learning opportunity because you're going to shut your mouth and you're going to learn something new, and you're going to learn from their experience, you're going to learn from their techniques, you're going to learn from their strategy, you're going to learn from how to do stuff, you're going to learn from their stories and different things that you can apply to your own business, your own life, and be able to take your life to the next level. All right. So what you want to do is you don't want to be limited to your own perspective. Mm-mm, you don't. Maybe I just know the world to be this. But when I go out, I might see how other people view the world as this. It's an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to learn new things, try new things, experience new things. Don't just say, I don't like people from this country or I don't like people from this tribe because of XYZ. You've not even experienced them. Your mind is so limited to what only you know. You're not even giving yourself the opportunity to want to know more than what's in your head already. Give yourself the opportunity to learn. Give yourself the opportunity to step into new areas because when you're out of your space, you stay put. Okay? You stay put and you give yourself the opportunity to learn. You give yourself the opportunity to listen, to be quiet for a minute. Someone once said, if you want to learn, you don't want to be the one talking because if you talk, you repeat what you already know. But if you listen, you give yourself the opportunity to learn what you don't know because now you're tapping into someone's wisdom, you're tapping into someone's knowledge, you're tapping into someone's wealth of information. All right. So you want to be able to give yourself the opportunity to learn something new, to see from other people's POV, point of view. Okay. You want to see how I remember coming to the US first time in 2019. And I mean, we all got a cultural shock where um the man who got out of the car as the chauffeur was helping us. He's an elderly man. He was helping us. Um, He's a director for one of the universities that hosted at Drake University. And yes, I had a great experience, so I'm permitted to say Drake. And it was a great experience. So I'm gonna be gracious to say. So it was Mr. Lance Noe. He was the chauffeur for that day, and he's older. And in Africa, we know when you get somewhere is the younger that serve the older. All right. But in this case, this is the older man helping us get our stuff in the car, get us in the car and doing stuff for us. And we're like, wow, this will not happen somewhere. And in as much as we're all from different African countries, but that was something similar because we were all shocked. Okay, from west, east, south, central, and we didn't have any northern African, but yeah, so it was west, east, central, and southern Africa. Like we were all shocked, like, oh wow. So an elderly person is actually helping us do XYZ. And then The next morning when we went to class for, I think, for our orientation, he shows up, or he showed up, and he was like, "Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys had a great day." And we were like, "Wait, what?" And he introduced himself as, I think he was the director of the program or something. But he was one of the professionals that was helping us doing our Mandela Washington Fellowship session at Drake. And we're like, yo, this cannot happen where we're from. Like, we're used to, you know, especially someone of high repute, um, you ought to be served and not the other way around, right? And that was something quite interesting that we had learned. But the thing is, in my place, we'll say travel and see, because a lot of times, if you stay stuck in your little corner, in your little village, in your little hometown, in your little house, and in your little office, or in your little anywhere, and you don't step out to learn how things are done outside of your cycle, you just sometimes you go out and you say something and then people look at you like, wow, really? Oh, that's interesting. And I mean, I've come to America and I also see sometimes when, I get into a room, whether virtual or physical, and I talk about some things or share my perspective on some things, there's just this wow, or uh, um a wow feeling, or atmosphere, where it's like, wow, really? I remember on the same Drake program, I had the opportunity to talk about my country, Liberia. When you Google Liberia, you'll probably see a lot of negative stuff. Is the war, is Ebola, is whatever, is all the most of the negative things that happen. But at the time, there was this videographer, and I think it's Ramito, and then is Joma Global. You can check on Instagram and Facebook or social media. Check for Rami Ramito and Joma Global. They started sharing really beautiful parts of Liberia, and I think it's also what's her name, Loretta, that shows really cool places in Liberia. And I was so proud just showing those great scenery in different parts of Liberia to a whole new community I have come to experience. And I had the opportunity to say, not just say something positive about my country, but to show something positive about my country. And I will never forget how I felt, because I had a few minutes to talk to the people that I was talking to, and that feeling felt so peaceful and so rewarding and so amazing. And that was a moment I was able to school, because I was being asked about some of the negative things that happened in Liberia, which, of course, I really didn't grow up there, so I don't have all the information. But the media is the media, and they will definitely tell you their side of the story versus what actually happened there. And that was an opportunity for me to rewire people's mind about some of the good things that were not so popular on the media. And that felt so good because I was able to get their minds out of what they were used to being fed, and they were able to see something else. And then I started talking about our food and our people and our culture, and how hospitable we are, and how daring we are, and uh, um how carefree and loving we are, and how welcoming we are, and how our sceneries are beautiful. And we're like an untapped, I would say, virgin area or space. And there's a lot of great things you could do in Liberia and stuff. And guess what? That was a moment of pride for me as a Liberian girl, right? Talking to people who had never been to Liberia, who may never go to Liberia, but have been fed with a lot of negative things online. All right. And so sometimes, for instance, if somebody wanted to stay at home rather than coming to that event, they would have been stuck in their perspective about Liberia based on the negative things that's online. But coming to that event and me getting the opportunity to talk about my country in a positive light, give them in a positive light, give the people I was talking to the opportunity to look at my country a little bit differently. I'm not saying bad stuff didn't happen, but I'm saying there's also good stuff that's not really spoken about. Okay. So you want to step out of your comfort zone so you can liberate your perspective or your mindset. Okay, you can rethink approaches, you can rework your assumptions based on what other people said or XYZ. You want to be able to step out of that. Okay, but the thing is, when you avoid discomfort, you avoid the chance to gain new perspective and ideas that could drive success. That's a side note. If you don't want to get comfort, if you don't want to enjoy, if you don't want to burn the midnight candles, if you don't want to, step out in the rain to go to work, if you don't want to step out in the snow to go to school, if you just want to lay in bed all day because, well, it's going to be a cozy or crazy day and I don't want to go nowhere, but you have some important meeting to close up that sale or something. Sometimes you wake up and it doesn't feel like you're going to have a good day, but you need to push yourself because guess what? If you don't push yourself, I don't care how much external force is applied on you, you could either fall or you could move. But when you push yourself, you're definitely going to move. You're not going to fall because you're going to give yourself the right amount of pressure from inside to get you to take the next step. All right. Last but not the least, or okay, so I got too much to go. So you build confidence through discomfort. How many times have you felt, say for someone who's an introvert, who is so gifted, who had their first opportunity to speak publicly, whether virtually, on camera, or in person? Your first experience was your confidence was shaken, right? Then with your second experience, you were able to find your feet, you were more relaxed, you were able to get the right words, you were not doing too much of a and shaking and stuff. And that's what life is. When you get out of your comfort zone, your first try may not be perfect, but when you take baby steps towards that, guess what? You're getting better as the day go by, or as the day goes by, or as the days go by. All right. So you are gonna get better and better. You're gonna make little efforts. You're gonna make um, you know, baby steps until you can finally walk again. Like take for instance a child who's learning how to walk. They're not as confident for them to take their first step. All right. But the day they take the first step, their confidence level is gonna grow for them to be able to take the second step. And then you realize when they take the first step, and I got babies, so yeah, let me do that example. So when baby takes the first step and they fall, they'll make an attempt to stand alone or hold on to something to stand, and then they'll make another attempt to do one step, two step, and then even if they fall, but the more they fall, the better they become as getting back up, as holding on to something for support, and their confidence is growing through that process for them to attempt another three, four, five steps. And then by the time their confidence level has grown through the process of falling and trying again, then they start to take more steps. And then once they get comfortable, they start to run. They start to stand on their own. They start to leave stuff to squat by themselves and stand up by themselves without support and stuff like that. And that's what it is. The more discomfort you experience, you build your confidence, whether it's public speaking or starting a business. Sometimes you're starting your first business, or you're like, I give the example of someone who's an introvert that's got their first experience to share, with the world, the gift they have, how nerve wracking it can be. But the more they do it, the more comfortable they get. Okay. So sometimes you're learning a new skill and you're not getting it right. Say for instance, you're learning how to sew, you're learning how to type, you're learning how to drive, you're learning anything for that matter, a new skill you're learning. Your confidence level will not be as strong on your first try or your first encounter. But the more you adjust yourself to start getting comfortable with the discomfort, then guess what? Your confidence level starts to go up. All right. So every discomfort you face is a win that builds your mental and emotional fortitude. So for each time you experience discomfort, you're getting adjusted to say, okay, I'm getting ready for this. I am going to go at it this way. I'm going to try this one. I'm going to try that one. Versus, you know, the more you give a try, the more you become stronger mentally and emotionally. You're preparing yourself for the next phase. All right. So, when you remain, how do you call the word? I So confidence is very critical for success. You need to be confident that I'm going to succeed at this. That in my trying, I am going to make it and I'm going to be comfortable. I am going to be successful. Thanks, comfort. And I'm talking about comfort. Okay? So the more you go, the more you get comfortable and the more you're able to, because your confidence is a very critical ingredient for success. And it doesn't grow when you're comfortable. Your confidence can only grow in the face of challenges and in the face of uncertainty. For instance, the stars are there. The stars not confidence to shine in the day. It's not confident to shine in the day. It wasn't supposed to shine in the day. It's only supposed to shine at night. Doesn't mean the stars are not there in the day. It's there. But if it's not dark, the darker it gets, the brighter the stars shine. That's the better opportunity they have to shine. So take it for instance from dawn to noon, and then to dusk, and then to dark. The stars is getting more and more confident to shine bright. It doesn't mean when dawn comes it's gonna disappear. No, it's there, but it's waiting for the right opportunity to shine its best. And the more things get tougher and tougher, and you keep going and going, and you don't give up, you get comfortable with trying again and picking up learnings from each trial and putting back that learning or practicing that learning to take you to the next place. All right. Last but not the least, you want to embrace change and you want to be easily adaptable. If your ability to adapt is very crucial, because guess what, the world is changing, a lot of things are happening, and what used to happen in the year 2000 is 24 years. A lot of things have changed, a lot of things have evolved, a lot of things, you've grown. Whatever age you were in the year 2000, you've had 24 years plus to that age. Bro, you're grown. All right. If you're a teenager years ago, you're a grown right now. If you're a baby, you're an adult now. All right. So your ability to embrace change and adapt in every aspect of life that you experience is very key in you stepping out of your comfort zone. Okay. When you step out of your comfort zone, it will be nerve wracking. I'm not gonna tell you, even the best musicians still get chills or shivers down their spine when they step on the stage to sing in front of a big crowd. But you work your way through it on a daily basis. The people you admire, their hands still tremble sometimes, their feet still shake sometimes, but they manage to work their way through it at every attempt they make. All right. And the fact that you're holding them in high esteem and you're adoring them and stuff and you're cheering them on doesn't take that away. Everyone feels some level of discomfort, but the more you step out of your comfort zone, the more comfortable you become with getting uncomfortable, because you're working your way to success. And as you're growing, you are achieving little milestones that grow into bigger milestones that gets you to the real jackpot that you're working towards. All right. So those who remain in their comfort zone may find themselves unprepared for shifts in your industry. You can tell me you in the media and you don't know nothing that's happening with social media these days. Your business is gonna crumble. All right. And if you also do not prepare yourself for the rapid change that's coming by the day, even in your own personal life, you won't be able to adjust. So, your ability to be able to adapt to the situations around you, guess what? It prepares you for success. Because you're on the go, you're changing, you're going, you're walking your way through. You may not get it right always. No, I'm not saying you're getting it right as you're going. I'm saying your effort of, sometimes they say E for effort. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying be excellent now. I'm saying is that E for effort that you're working through. And when you do that, guess what? You are getting more and more comfortable. You are getting more and more better at what you're doing and how you're presenting, on how you're singing, on how you're playing the instrument, on how you're doing your presentation at work, on how you're doing your presentation at school, on how you're negotiating business, negotiating at your job. You are getting better and better at that. Okay? So, in as much as your comfort zone, I'm wrapping up, in as much as your comfort zone may seem very sweet and very relaxing, and oh my word, I just want to stay here and get a really nice massage and sleep. No, it can be a hindrance to your success. Imagine going for a job interview and then you went to the spa to get a massage and they do you so well and you fell asleep and you missed your interview time. You know very well it's not time to go to the spa when you have something important to do. I mean, you say, well, but it felt so good. I mean, I was tired. I needed that so badly. Your timing was wrong. You may feel comfortable there, but your timing was wrong. And that hindered you from achieving something that you could have achieved successfully. So, I want to encourage you that whatever your comfort zone is, whatever your description or your picture of your comfort zone is, sometimes these are walls that don't just protect you, but they're walls that hinder you. Your comfort zone are like walls that are building, like, I feel safe over here. I feel so good right here. I don't want to do too much. I'm just okay right here. No. Mm-mm. Those walls will not be for protection anymore. They'll be hindrance because you will not just be blocking others for overstepping. You yourself will not be able to overstep or to go anywhere. And recap, you, no matter how much external motivation you get, stepping out of your comfort zone requires exclusively something from within. You know the level of comfort you have that make you not to take the next step. I don't know that. Your next person don't know that. Your coach don't know that unless you unveil it. And no amount of motivation can get you out of there unless it comes from within. If it's from within, guess what? Then you're more intentional. Then you want to wake up and do it. All right. I want to say thank you for joining me on tonight's episode of Chats with Timmy. I appreciate you being here. Until next time, I remain your one and only host for Chat with Timmy, Thelma Titi Ahamba. I'll see you in the next episode. Good night.